Hello everyone, and welcome to a very vicious Halloweek. We're going to start off this 7-day series with the amazing art of Allie Burke, better known as Funnyskullgrin on Instagram. I've been following her for about a month and I'm obsessed with her work, and I had to do this look once I saw it, so please go check her out as well as her shop. So first I'm starting off with making the teeth. I'm using Model Magic because this prosthetic is going to be surrounding my eye area, and even after it's completely dry, Model Magic isn't going to harden enough or get pointy enough to do any damage to my eye if I do get poked by one of the teeth. If you're going to be making a prosthetic that was farther away from your eyes, I would suggest using a thermoplastic like polymorph, or foam clay would work fine as well, but you might have to sand it and paint it to get the look that you want. Just use whatever works for you and whatever you might be able to get your hands on easiest. To make the teeth, I'm just rolling out a small ball and tapering one side into a cone. I curved it slightly and made sure the end was narrow so it looked like it was pointed for each tooth. I ended up making around 40 teeth in all, 20 for the top and bottom rows, but I didn't use all of them. If you're using Model Magic, you'll want to make the teeth first, because it takes 24 hours for them to completely dry, but they are dry to the touch in about 15 to 30 minutes. When drying them, make sure they don't touch each other because they are still sticky before they've completely dried. Next, I started sculpting the actual mouth. You can get away with using just a mannequin head for this, but it may not fit exactly to the contours of your face because most mannequin heads are smaller than the average head. I'm using an oil-based clay to do this, and it was fairly easy because there's not a lot of intricate details and we can add shading and other things to the makeup later. I used the end of a paintbrush to make the gum holes, and I moved over various parts of the piece, smoothing and reshaping things until I was happy overall. I went over the surface with some alcohol to smooth the edges, and you want to make sure you get them fairly thin because that will help with blending the prosthetic in later on. To make this piece, I'm just building up thin layers of liquid latex, making sure they dry completely before adding another layer. As you add layer after layer, move towards the center of your piece so that you can fade the edges easily, and this will make the heaviest part of your prosthetic, the mouth, stronger. I ended up doing about 8 to 12 layers, and I also used the end of a paintbrush to get latex into the gum holes as well. For added strength, I used a flat piece of cotton and coated it in latex to act as a support over the bridge of my nose. To peel your prosthetic up, cover the entire surface with a translucent powder. Latex sticks to itself on contact, so you want to do this before trying to remove it. Now I've got this going at a regular speed so you can see how slow and gentle I'm peeling it up, because we want to save those thin edges. You want to take your time and make sure you get powder under the prosthetic and spread it around so that nothing sticks. Painting this piece off of our face for the most part will save us time and make it easier when we're working on the look later on. We're just doing the base colors first, the black for the inner part of the mouth and the red for the gums, etc. I'm using cream makeup for this, and I'm setting those colors with a matching shadow. Then I go in with these shades again, mixing them somewhat to add dimension to the mouth so it doesn't look too flat and uninteresting. I'm also going to put in the teeth now, and I'm just using liquid latex for this step. You could use any adhesive you like, but this is just what I had on hand and it worked fine. For the application, I'm starting with my eyebrows covered because we're going to be using spirit gum and my wig cap is on. The contacts don't matter for this look, I just needed to see, and these were the closest lenses to me. I'm using a black cream makeup to cover the area around my lids, as well as a black jumbo eye pencil for my waterline, and I'm setting all of that with a matte black shadow. Next, I'm using a white jumbo eye pencil to mark out the general area of where I'll be putting the spirit gum for the prosthetic. I'm going to try to not apply any paint in this area because it might affect how well the prosthetic sticks to my skin. To start the body paint, I'm moisturizing my skin first because the paint will spread better instead of when my skin is completely dry. And I'm taking that down onto my neck and a bit under my décolleté area. I'm going to be using a gray cream makeup on a dense soft face brush to start painting, and I did about 2 coats of this. To put down the prosthetic, I used spirit gum in the center of my face and on the back of the prosthetic. I tapped it to make it get tacky faster, and once both sides were ready, I applied it to my face. When I was sure it was set on my nose bridge, I started to apply the spirit gum to the outer parts of my face and the rest of the piece, tapping both surfaces to make them tacky faster, and then pulling them out as I laid them down to get rid of unnecessary wrinkling. I did this all around the prosthetic until it was attached all the way around. Now I'm using about 3 layers of liquid latex to blend in the edges of the prosthetic with my skin, making sure to dry each of them completely in between. I covered the edges in powder to take away the shine and then added the gray paint over to finish the transition. Then, to add more interest to the overall look, I'm going to mix a light blue with a white cream makeup, and I used a picked away latex makeup sponge to stipple on the color, breaking up the gray paint and making the prosthetic blend in better as well. Once that's all dried, I'm just going in with various eyeshadows to shade in the same parts of my face as in the art. I'm using various shades of blue to go around my nose and the corners of my mouth, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to start on the lips. I used a liquid eyeliner to make my lips more symmetrical and extended the corners of them out further, as well as turning them slightly upward so I had a perpetual smirk. I then filled in my lips with matte black liquid lipstick, and once that was dry, I dabbed a bit of white cream makeup on my lips to make them look highlighted as in the drawing, as well as to make sure they didn't look flat. After adding a few more touches of eyeshadow to finish up the shading, here's the final look. I really hope you guys like this look. I love making it, so please go check out Allie Burke on Instagram at Funnyskullgrin. Her art's amazing and I'm completely obsessed with it, and I definitely plan on trying to recreate more of her looks. For now, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you stick around for the next 6 days of the series. See you later. Bye bye.